So I'm finally revealing all the big secrets. And the weird thing is, I didn't think that they were a secret. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today we're going to talk about my secret YouTube strategy that I used throughout the majority of 2016, probably actually throughout the majority of my time here on the YouTube platform. A lot of you guys who are subscribed know that at the beginning of January 2016, I had 70,000 subscribers here on the channel. The Create Awesome community has grown to over 170,000 subscribers. This is tremendous, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm glad that you're getting some value out of the channel. The channel's purpose here is to educate and motivate creative people and to give them the skills and resources and confidence to be successful. That is my North Star. That is what I want for people who watch this channel. I try to do that by being fun and informative, but I'm not an entertainer, and that kind of brings us to the elephant in the room. Disproportionately, I think the question that I get in the comments that, I'm going to be honest, annoys me the most is questions about my view to subscriber ratio. And I get it. You're used to seeing big YouTubers who have like 2 million subscribers and get 1 million to 2 million views per video. YouTube, a lot of times, is very interesting, and I say that because one of the things I hear from small YouTubers is a lot of complaints about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. This is an analogy that happens within society, and I want to use another one. Entertainers and athletes get paid more than teachers and scientists and engineers. Shocking, I know, right? When we look at the value, and I'm not taking anything away from those people, we all need escapisms, we all need to be entertained, and they do provide value. It's the same here in YouTube. I'm an online educator. I'm also a business person, and I'm someone who came to YouTube in their late 20s versus majority of the YouTube stars, a lot of them started in their 20s, if not younger. I'm a minority here in YouTube in that regard. I'm in the over 30 club. I'm in the over the hill gang, right? The channels that I look up to and that I aspire to are not the same ones that many of you as viewers look up to and aspire to. I look up to people like my friend Evan Carmichael and his YouTube channel and his message about belief and entrepreneurship. In fact, that was even published in his book recently that just came out. It's called Your One Word. Mine is obviously awesome. I look up to people like my mentor in marketing and social media, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's an amazing guy, a hustler, and a self-made businessman from an immigrant family. I look up to brilliant business people like Marie Forleo and Tony Robbins. You'll notice that all these channels that I named have less than 500,000 subscribers. Tony Robbins has 250,000 subscribers, and if you're, an adult and have lived in the world, you probably have heard of him. He's changed so many lives. He's one of the most prolific public speakers. He's a best-selling author. He has 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. And in YouTube, entertainment channels and vloggers, and I have nothing against any of these people. I watch a lot of these people. But you have people, and the biggest YouTubers, like of the year of 2016, you have a lot of them that, let's be honest, we know what channels we're talking about. They made their bones on talking trash on the internet. That's it. What was the real value of that? They made their internet fame. They rose to millions of subscribers just talking trash on the internet. I could get views by just doing commentary on big YouTubers. I could get views by just going out and reviewing every new piece of expensive technology under the sun. But that's not who I am. YouTube has the word you in it. It's about who you are and then trying to get whatever you can in terms of satisfaction or success out of that. For me, and my strategy is around helping individual people be as successful as they can, especially if they're a creative person. If you're a creative person, there's a lot that you come up against because what you do isn't necessarily respected in society. School wasn't built for you. Who is there making a video for you to help you feel confident about what you do, to make you feel there's a future in what you do, to help you be successful in getting the job that you want, or starting a business around this, or sticking to it and being passionate about it despite the fact that your friends, your family, your parents might be telling you, stop drawing, you'll never be an animator, stop writing, you'll never get that novel finished, stop with the photography, go out and get a real job. There are so many negative voices stopping you from creating the awesome things that you want to put out into the world. And my strategy in my channel has been that I'm making a video for you. I'm making a video for one person that is being neglected by society and by everybody else and that the world wasn't shaped for. I'm making videos for one person at a time. And then 5,000, maybe 10,000 people happen to watch it. I'm trying to do that because it wasn't done for me. It wasn't done for me. It wasn't done for so many people. So I have a micro strategy on YouTube. My micro strategy on YouTube is that if I make a video on Monday around a very specific thing, like HTML, web design versus WordPress, there are people who want to solve that problem and are trying to make a decision about building a website. That's a very specific person. It's not necessarily 1 million people, 2 million people. And even if 2 million people need to solve that problem, they may not know who I am yet. They may not have found my video yet. They might by next year, and that video would still be relevant to them. This is a strategy that's called micro niche focus, and it's also a strategy that's called evergreen and long tail content. This means that if I make a video about this topic, it will not get 10,000 views in the first week, but it might get 100,000 views over the course of a year. And I've done videos that have been successful like that. Like the video, How to Get Your First 100 YouTube Subscribers, that has almost 500,000 views on it. I made that video maybe 2 years ago. It didn't get a lot of views the first week. It didn't get a lot of views the first 2 weeks. And it got buried in my channel, as many of you love to look at my last 5 or 10 uploads and look at how many views I got and make your criticisms about that. What you're failing to do is then look at how a video might be performing after 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, because it's still getting searched, it's still getting recommended by 20 other videos, and I'm getting more value over time, and it's stacking. And while that's happening, I've put out another 100 videos that nobody is watching yet, and nobody cares about. But in doing that, I'm trying to provide a service. I'm trying to educate people about the one problem that they need to solve, because maybe they've been overlooked and maybe they've been neglected because everyone wants 1 million views and no one wants to help them. So the goal of my channel is very different. I'm not any of these other big YouTubers that you see that get millions of views being entertaining on the value of their personality. I could geek out about Star Wars, and I could do that, and I could probably get 1 million subscribers and millions of views doing that. And I love Star Wars. I'm super passionate about it. But it's not my overarching North Star. It's not what I'm going to build a business on. It's not my legacy. It's not how I'm going to change lives. The only reason I would ever be interested in getting 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and I guarantee you, and I've seen channels that I actually love like this, even if I got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, I would still have videos that only get 10,000 views, because I will still make content like that. I will still make content for the person out there, the one of you that nobody wants to answer your question. You guys will notice that I reply to my comments all the time. I also make videos based on specific comments from viewers. And one of the things I want to go back to doing is, when I ask people to leave comments, I want to go back to putting up on screen and highlighting a comment or a question from somebody, because I want to do that for people and acknowledge them. And so I think that's important. But most of the people that you respect the most in YouTube, they almost never reply to comments. I'm very engaged and I'm listening to all of you. I'm watching and reading every single comment, good or bad. And it's a lot of them. Overwhelmingly, they're mostly good. I love you guys. You guys are very nice about those things, and you guys actually ask really good, smart questions. I never have to worry about my content strategy. Do you know why? You guys are my content strategy. I take every single really good question in YouTube and I put it into a spreadsheet, and I have a list of over 2,000 videos that I could make that were all recommended by you guys because of your smart questions. And so I never run out of ideas for content. I never do. Here's the other thing. I don't have a niche. Most YouTubers that get a really great view to sub ratio, it's a smart tactic to go very niche. But even if you have a niche and you do a very specific thing, like Jared Polin, Frono's Photo, he's a great YouTuber in my opinion, and he's somebody that I've watched for years and that I admire. I don't watch every single video, but his niche is around photography and also around cameras and camera gear. And even with over 500,000 subscribers, it's very rare for a video of his to get even 50,000 views. Gary Vaynerchuk is a business and marketing guy with almost 400,000 subscribers, and it's very hard sometimes for his stuff to get over 50,000 views. Some of that's YouTube algorithm stuff, but a lot of it comes down to this. Not everybody subscribes for the same reason, and that's also a part of the strategy of my channel. I call you guys the Create Awesome Community because I wanted to be a collectivist. I want a community that wasn't just designers. I want a community that wasn't just photographers. I didn't want a community that was just marketers. I didn't want a community that was just YouTubers. I didn't want a community that's just tech enthusiasts. I want all of these people in my sphere because these are all the things that mean the most to me and that I care about. These are the things that I can go on for hours and hours talking about. I needed to be authentic to myself. I get bored if I just do one thing. I wasn't formally diagnosed. Actually, I think I was. But I relate to people who have ADD and ADHD. When I was a kid, they wanted to put me on Ritalin because I was very energetic, I was very passionate, and I would always flit from one thing to the other, but it didn't mean I was inconsistent. It just meant that I had a lot of interests that I liked tying together. And I know a lot of you can relate to that. So, in knowing that it would be a barrier to being truly quote-unquote successful on YouTube, I embraced the thing that's abnormal about me. I embraced the thing that I think is unique about me, and I went with it. And I decided that whatever I get out of it is whatever I get out of it. And what happened is this. I get a lot of you who just subscribe for the Monday graphic design videos. In fact, by my last count, based on metrics that I figured out, about roughly 40 or 50,000 of you specifically subscribe for the Monday videos. And that's really all you care about. And then their tech videos, some of them do really well, like the Microsoft Studio video that did 100,000 plus views in its first week and has done another 120,000 over the last 30 days. That's almost 250,000 views on a video. That's more than my subscribers. So it's not like I don't know how to make that kind of video. Do I only want to make that kind of video? Do I only want to make a video if I think it can get views? No. I want to make videos that that small group of neglected people might care about, because no one's making content for them. The Wednesday videos where I actually show you guys how I edit my photos, how I choose my camera gear, how I do my lenses, how I do the setup to make these videos. That's something that's actually valuable to people who either want to get into photography and people have made it too complicated for them, or they only buy the most expensive gear. I love showing you guys budget gear. I love showing you guys what a $100 lens can do for you, what a kit lens that came with your camera can do for you, because not everyone can afford that. Not everyone can afford the most expensive stuff. And so who is making videos helping the person who needs to get a camera with the money they're making from their part-time job? Nobody is making those videos. So I make those videos. So that's what the Wednesday stuff is. Thursday, I do like the tutorial videos where I show you guys my workflow in Premiere Pro and exactly how I edit the videos for this channel, or how to use a specific tool or technique, or how to make thumbnails in Photoshop. I make those videos and they're, I think they're very good. I think that they break down the process and make it easier. But I need to cover more free software because that's stuff that, is accessible to younger people. Friday videos, I talk about YouTuber stuff. If you subscribe for this type of video, if you're here because you want to be a YouTuber or you care about YouTube stuff and it's Friday, here's the thing. The odds are you are not watching my social media and small business Saturday videos, even though those videos are really valuable and maybe you would learn to make an extra $1,000 a month or, an extra $5,000 a month if you were watching those videos. But maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you just want to grow your YouTube channel. Okay, cool. You're not watching my Saturdays content. Maybe if you watch some of the Monday videos, you could actually design, better thumbnails or better branding for your YouTube channel, but maybe your skill isn't that you're a designer. Okay, cool. You're not watching the Monday videos. This is just like television. I watch Arrow and The Flash on Wednesdays. That doesn't necessarily mean that I watch iZombie. That doesn't necessarily mean that I watch Rain or Jane the Virgin, but that doesn't mean that the CW did a bad job or that there's something that they need to be doing differently to make me watch those shows. I'm choosing what I want to watch. And so here's the thing. I don't want you guys to watch a video you don't care about just to help my view counts. I don't want to take any time out of your day that you could be spending creating something awesome and making, tremendous artwork or photography or videos or writing or experiencing time with your family or friends or, going out and getting a girlfriend or boyfriend. I would rather you spend the time on something that really matters to you than watch my video for the sake of watching my video. I'm probably the only YouTuber that will say, don't watch all of my videos. You don't need to. And I can only imagine that there's a very specific type of person that would need to watch every single one of my videos. That's a very rare and specific type of person, and I don't need to take away any time from somebody that's not that. I just don't. I will be okay. My YouTube strategy isn't predicated on being a good YouTuber, not looking like a YouTuber. My strategy for my channel is doing exactly what it's intended to do. Educate and motivate people. Give me opportunities to work with some of the best brands in the world like Adobe and Dell and HP. It's being able to raise my public profile as a speaker so I can go to conferences and speak at things like Adobe Max or How Design Live or any of the other events that I've been so privileged to be a part of. Like I'm going to be at Social Media Marketing World next spring in March. on one of the biggest stages in the world. I'm going to be speaking at the same event that Gary Vaynerchuk is speaking at. I'm going to be speaking at the same event that Marcus Sheridan and Guy Kawasaki and Kim Garst and Subi Zimmerman and all these amazing world-class thought leaders are speaking at. And the YouTube channel helped me accomplish that goal. So this channel is working exactly as intended. I don't need to buy subs, like some of you think that I'm sub-botting or I'm buying fake subs. No, I don't need to do that. I spend enough money on my gear and my business and my hardware and my travel and my hobbies that I don't need to spend money on that. If I was going to spend money on anything from a marketing standpoint, you know what I would spend the money on and what I plan to spend money on in 2017? I plan to spend money on YouTube ads. I plan to spend money on YouTube ads that will market my upcoming book that is a self-help and business book for you guys called the Just Create Awesome book. I plan to spend ad money marketing my speaker reels that are coming out so I can get more speaking engagement, so I can meet more of you, so I can talk with you guys for 2 hours after I get off stage. That's what I would spend money on. It just happens that some people subscribe to my videos, they watch a couple of them, they get what they need, and they never unsubscribe. And then they come back because something ends up in their feed box. I'm actually doing better on that thanks to the new YouTube algorithm, which I talked about, because my view count has actually doubled on a monthly basis now. So it's not like progress isn't being made. I didn't make this video to brag about any of my successes or anything that's going on with me. I made this video to make the point that you can't judge all YouTube channels equally. There are different categories in YouTube for a reason. I know some tremendous people who are doing great things in the fitness and yoga and food preparation community of YouTube, and the way that their community works is very different than my friends like Jason Horton, who's a YouTube comedian. His channel works very differently than those people, works very differently than mine. Even among the YouTube business people, our channels all work differently. Even among some of the tech people that I knew, like my friend Andrew, like their channels all work differently. YouTube is an individual experience. That's why it's called YouTube. And so I think that when you try to put everybody in a box as a YouTuber, you're doing yourself as a viewer an injustice, and you're also not necessarily being fair to the intentions of that YouTuber because you decided what a YouTuber is, when that's something that a person decides for themselves, just like anything else. So I've kind of talked about my content strategy. I have a very specific kind of idea of what a content strategy for YouTube for my channel looks like. It's the evergreen content, the stuff that's good forever. Primary example, my 10 ways to make passive income online video. That video, I made it 6 months ago. It got maybe 100,000 views up until 30 days ago, where it got another 250,000 views on top of that. I usually don't talk about money as much here on the channel as far as how much I make on something, but I'll tell you for this one video, in the last 30 days, I made an extra $1,000 off this video based on the views from AdSense alone on that one video. So when you're worried about my view to sub ratio, I would say don't worry about that. Don't cry for me. I'm doing just fine. And again, that's not counting the business side of YouTube. I make videos that aren't just evergreen like that. I make another type of video called a calling card. It's a video that gets me the business relationship I want that leads to a better deal, whether that's a sponsorship, a speaking engagement, or a consulting deal in the marketing or business world. That means I sacrificed views on YouTube and I got the one view that mattered, the person that can write me the biggest check that they can possibly write. So getting consulting deals and getting retainers for 3 and 6 months is a part of my YouTube strategy that I don't think most people have, and that is something that really matters from a revenue standpoint. And so that is a bigger goal for me than getting a higher view count. I'd rather get a few business people to look at a video than a lot of 18-year-olds to look at a video because, oh, that's cool. You know, and again, it's not that I don't want to reach a young audience and help empower and educate them. It's that it's not my biggest overarching priority at the moment. But who knows, that could actually shift as different things happen for me, and I am concerned about the younger audience that's actually being talked out of creativity when it's really never been a better time for them. So I think that that's something important, and I need to address that more. I want to work with companies like Adobe's education department specifically to work on that and to help kids who are entering college in creative fields have a better understanding of the world that they're getting into. See, that's another part of my strategy. My strategy is what does this do in the world? Like, what does the content do? But let's actually talk a little bit more about the business side of YouTube, because I need to do a video about that anyway. But I do videos that have business goals tied to them, whether that's consulting, speaking, writing deals, setting up for the future for my book release and my product launches. There are videos that I do specifically that grow my email list, which also definitely helps. And there are videos that I do that are part of strategic partnerships that I want to build with other people, collaborative stuff. There are videos that I do that I specifically want to like promote things that my friends are doing that are cool that would help my community, or even members of the community. There are people in the Create Awesome community that I'm highlighting here on the channel that I'm inviting to be collaborators on the channel. There'll be even more of that next year, and I've actually started hiring and recruiting from my YouTube community. I'm actually hiring people from my YouTube community that either want mentorship from me, or they want to use the platform to help other people and get some exposure for themselves, or they literally just want to work with me and I love what they do and I want to pay them for that. And so it's been a great relationship building and business opportunity for me to hire and recruit new talent for Create Awesome Media. And that is something that is a bigger part of 2017 for me, of building up the company more. Again, something I don't talk about a lot. From a community standpoint, one of the things that I don't do that I need to do that I would suggest some of you look at is, I've talked about the importance of having a show on YouTube if you do want to balance out your view and subscriber ratio a lot better. One of the things I've done very well on the channel is the educational and evergreen content. I haven't been doing as well on this other pillar called community content. I do evergreen, I do calling cards really well. The thing that I have not done yet is a lot of community-based content that I could rally all these different people behind, that I could take people who love tech, people who love art and design, people who are film geeks, and people who like social media, and bring these people together around one type of thing. To do that, I have to build a show, something I've talked about you guys doing for your own channels. And so I've been putting that together. I've been talking with a lot of people who've done it. And next year, not at the beginning of the year, but next year I do have a show that I will be doing on YouTube. It'll be weekly or twice a week. It'll be something like that. But if you want an example of what this could look like, then I would say it could look very similar from a format standpoint. It'll be a very different show content-wise. But if you've ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk and you've ever watched the Ask Gary Vee show, in terms of a format for a show, in terms of a marketing strategy for a show, in terms of something that brings a group of people together, I think that it's very close to a hybrid of that and similar things that Philip DeFranco is doing and similar things to what Linus Tech Tips is doing. So if you kind of kludge those things together, you'll have an idea of what my show might look like in 2017. And that's a new part of the YouTube strategy, and that will actually balance a view to subscriber ratio on that piece of content when that comes out every week, because it's something that is collectivist by its nature versus me doing one-off videos. One-off videos are only valuable to the person who needs to solve that particular problem or cares about that particular type of thing. So the people who watch me on Mondays don't necessarily watch me on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays, or Saturdays, or Sundays. But if I get them once or twice a week to watch this show, there are opportunities where I could actually move them over or make them understand the value that might be there for them in another day of the week. And so that could also, affect those things. So that's something that I look at. Another part of my content strategy that I don't talk about is the actual production of the content. I told you guys how I get my ideas. One, I just go to the well of my experiences and what I can take from what I've learned that would be helpful to you. And then I also build that database of all of the questions from the really good comments. So keep leaving comments and keep asking questions, because that's how I make the videos. I make it based on what serves you. But beyond that, what I don't talk as much about sometimes is the production strategy. A lot of you know that I film in batch. This video is an exception. This video is something I kind of decided to do somewhat on a whim, and that happens sometimes. But I literally have 6 YouTube Friday videos that have already been shot that have not been edited. Those are sitting there. I have 6 weeks of content just for Friday. So I have more than a month of Friday content just sitting there waiting to be edited right now. It's why next year I've hired Rohan, and I might hire Zoe, I'm talking with her about this, to take on some of the editing of the channel so that I can front load the things that I feel like need my eye or need my attention or are more complicated to edit, and I can have them do all these simple edits, and I can get content done quicker. It means that I could also look at a strategy for 2017 of going to 2 videos a day, which would grow the channel in a lot of ways faster. It lets me do a bigger variety of content because What if I decide to introduce a new series? You guys know that I've actually done mini-series and I've done stuff before. What if I wanted to do more series? What if I wanted to do lotteries for once a month or twice a month channel reviews and partner with TubeBuddy on that to do that more regularly and review small YouTube channels and give them advice? That's something I can only do if I have assistant editors doing some of the other content. And that's something that, again, would get us to doing 2 a day. I won't start that in 2017 right away, but that's my point is I have a production strategy where I sit here in front of the camera and I shoot 5 or 10 videos at once for like an hour. And then I go and I do business calls and emails and do all my other stuff, and then I might shoot another 5 or 10 videos for an hour. I try the first week of every month, unless I need to do a video in real time, in the first week of the month, I actually try to get all the YouTube videos shot and in the can and edit as many as possible front loading. And then I try to get everything edited for the entire month as best as I can before week 2 gets here. And I don't always do that successfully, which is part of why I'm going to hire some help. And so that's part of my production strategy is that I make as much batch content as I can, and I put myself in a position where because I'm making evergreen content, it doesn't matter when I release it unless something interesting happens. So, that's part of this whole secret quote-unquote strategy. I'm telling you exactly what I do because I'm not afraid to compete with anybody. I only compete with myself. I don't worry about what other big YouTubers are doing unless I can learn from it. I don't worry about what small YouTubers are doing unless I can help them. And so that's how my channel and my content and my strategy and the way my brain works is I'm trying to build something that has real value and real substance in the long term for people and that they can always go back to and use. I'm building Netflix. It's not my thing to want to do a weekly or daily news show and just do whatever's hot right now and then that video is dead in a month and there's no point in watching it. That's not the style of content I want to do. I want my content to be something that people can binge on. I want it to be something that they can learn from. I want to be able to use it as a thesis for structure to do online courses, whether those are free or whether those are paid. I want to use that to then compile the best tips into ebooks that might help people who've never watched a YouTube video in their life. These are the things that matter to me. This is where my strategy lies. And again, if I was going to spend money on anything regarding my YouTube channel, I would never buy subs and I would never buy views, and I advise that you guys never do that. And as far as buying ads to grow your YouTube channel, I'm not interested in buying ads to grow my YouTube channel. I'm interested in buying ads that sell my book. I'm interested in buying ads against motivational videos because I think that that could help people and then it introduces them into my ecosystem. I'm interested in ads that maybe grow my email list because then I make money off my email list if someone converts to being a client. I'm interested in buying ads in YouTube against my marketing and consulting for social media. I'm interested in buying ads against YouTube for my speaking engagements so I can do that, so I can meet more of you guys and so I can speak on bigger stages and network with other people and make business deals and get new sponsors. All of those things are practical and a practical use of spending money, because the other thing you have to think about is at the end of the day, you gotta pay taxes on all this stuff. So if you're gonna spend money to make money and then you're gonna pay taxes, which at some point I'm debating on this because I don't like politics. I keep debating on doing a rant about taxes, but I'm beginning to think that maybe I should do an educational style video for entrepreneurs on some things that they should look at as far as their taxes, and even YouTubers about why they should consider forming like an LLC and then do a tax classification as an S corporation and all of the complicated things with that. But I keep wanting to just bring a tax expert onto the channel, and I might bring somebody. I might bring somebody like the people from Mid-Atlantic CPAs on to do that, because I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing there. I can only tell you some of the things I'm doing legally. I can't give you certain advice because that's weird. Thank you, government rules. Again, I hate politics. My point is that YouTube is complicated. YouTube is complicated, and it's too complicated to put all the channels in one pile and say that this is what a YouTuber is. You have to decide what kind of YouTuber you want to be. I hope this video helps you understand a little bit more about my channel and what kind of YouTuber I want to be. And it also means that from now on, whenever anybody wants to be snarky or snippy with me and accuse me of anything in the comments, or tell me about my view to subscriber ratio, or tell me that I'm buying likes and views, or tell me that I'm botting, I can just point them at the link to this video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope revealing some of my secret sauce, some of my secret YouTube strategy might actually help some of you with your stuff. And again, I also optimize and focus on SEO. I didn't talk about that a lot because of time, but I'll tell you what. I'll put out another YouTube video this weekend. It's a tutorial. It's what I really wanted to release today. That is about optimizing your tags using TubeBuddy. They won't be sponsoring that video, but it will help you guys, especially if you're struggling with or afraid of the new algorithm. I know a lot of people in the comments told me that they did optimize their videos and their tags, and then I checked, and they tried to optimize their videos and their tags. They just didn't do the best job, and it's okay. My clients mess that up all the time, and that's what they hire me for. So, it's things like that. Actually, that video will probably get me more clients now that I think about it. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff on the channel. Remember, leave me YouTube questions in the comment section. That's how I make the videos, guys. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today, even when you think nobody's watching.